babe. Oh, please let me go live. I just want to go live on the podcast. Okay. So, let me know how the sound is, and let me know if the camera's blurry or not, because I can do the old fine focus on the camera. We'll be starting any second. As soon as it's 1 o'clock. Hang on. Okay, official intro. Boom, we're in. Hello, and welcome to the first ever episode of the number one lunchtime vegan podcast. That's right, the number one lunchtime vegan podcast. Geez, that was very quick because I'm only on my first episode. What is going on there? Yeah, I know. It's a good thing. Presented by VeganSteven. That's me. How are you getting on? And this is it. It's live. Anything could happen. So here's some little bits and bobs we'll be chatting about today on the vegan podcast. My primary goal is to spread positivity for mental health and positive vegan image. And I'll be doing it through music, and I'll be doing it a little bit through the podcast, which is around every lunchtime at 1. So where I'm living, it's Ireland. So I think in Ireland lunchtime is at 1. Generally, I'm gonna have to do this. I was hoping to do this podcast. Sitting down, but the way the camera is set up and everything, I don't think that's gonna happen. So I'll be doing some advice. I'll be taking some live questions and answers. And once again, this is episode 1. So I'll have to talk about the publicity stunt I did yesterday, staying awake for 24 hours in a torturous environment. But we're gonna not focus on that. I'm gonna focus on how you can do anything you want, man. I'm just a lad who some of the black stuff there. I'm just a lad, a vegan lad, who was even afraid of turning vegan. Can you believe that? I was afraid to turn vegan, and it scared the shit out of me. And that's what as I keep saying, you can honestly do whatever you want in life. I'm doing exactly what I want in life right now. This is only day 1, but I hope you'll join me on the journey. Join me on the journey of spreading positivity, because do you know what? Life's not easy. But if we all keep talking to each other, letting each other know, today I have a sore head or whatever. And that's the general vibe I'm going for. Because it's too easy to be skeptical, and it takes a lot of energy to make a joke, to be all the rest of it. And I think it'd be really nice for people to look back on, even if they don't like me or whatever, just to see what happens when someone tries to achieve all their goals. And sure, some of my goals won't work out. I'm very ambitious. I have I'm starting a vegan clothing line in maybe 2 months. I just released an album yesterday. I'll send it to all my super fans who follow that post, my 24 hours stream. I'll give my music away free for that. My goal is to give music away for free, so you'll never have to pay for my music, whether it's in any kind of digital form. If you want to buy something you can hold, I'm not sure what's going on there, but I can guarantee that all my albums and stuff will be for free, as will, in time, the album I just released yesterday will be for free. And I have some singles coming out to do with this. The first album I just dropped which is out in the next 24 hours or so, is about positive mental health. And the next album I'll be doing is kind of about it's called it's related around vegan pop. So like vegan popular, it's kind of like K-pop. It's kind of like its own genre. Because sometimes the whole vegan thing, I don't know. It's not even that the whole vegan thing. It's just like when you get slagged in general, it can doesn't make you feel good. So I don't know. This is all just about when you're doing stuff, regardless of what your thing is. If you're into whatever you're into, just fucking give it a go. Sure, try it out, you know. So if any of you guys are watching this live or watching this in 6 months, isn't that crazy that this is live? I have my own things going. Everyone has their own things going on, whether it's whether oh jeez, what's going on here? This is live once again. So this is just an example of someone trying to be like battling their fears. Right, like I'm terrified of starting my own podcast. Are you insane? The idea of starting your own podcast, people are gonna, like my aunties, uncles, and family members, they're going to be like, "Geez, that lad, who does he think he is making a podcast? Like, what does he know about the news? What does he know about veganism?" So there's this thing called imposter syndrome that even people who've been doing something, say if you're an architect or whatever, you get this imposter syndrome. So if you're really good at something, you're going to think you're not good. I don't know, because you can see all the mistakes in your own work because you're overly critical, baby. Oh jeepers, what's clothing you working on? Okay, my vegan clothing line, because basically I find it so stressful in Ireland, because when I want to buy a pair of shoes, I want to go into shops and I asked the manager, like, "Hey, is there any stuff you have that is vegan?" Oh man, they're just like start laughing and stuff. I don't know, but it's just not easy to get ethical clothes. So my clothes will all be made out, will be 100% ethical, and a percentage of the profits will be given to a charity. Haven't decided what charity yet. Maybe some mental health charity, or maybe some kind of protest charity, something to do with improving motivation and happiness and well-being and positivity. Maybe free music school or something. I don't know, some kind of charity. So a percentage of the profits from the clothing line would be going to the charity. So basically, if someone wants to buy, it's not even like my logo or whatever will be like little like small thing. It won't be like, it'll either have the Vegan Steve Minotaur or it'll have Vegan Steve in small writing, or else it'll say vegan pop, but in like very small, like tasteful writing. Because and that's as a brand, it stands for positivity and following your dreams and doing whatever you want. So the clothing is, if you want to buy something that is completely recycled, ethically made, and so on, and if you pay for it, you're also paying for a charity, which is yet to be, like, we'll decide whichever one. Maybe it'll be a pool of different charities. You can buy the clothes if it's something that you're into. If you don't want to, if you're not really into this whole wearing recycled clothes, or if you just want to, you don't really want to pay a load of money for something, that's fine. You get whatever you want, man. I'm like, yeah, do whatever you want. I'm learning as I go. Like, I still have some stuff on me made by evil corporations or whatever. But we're only just doing our best, There's no need to be judging people. This is all human nature. Like, it's human nature to judge people. It's it's an actual skill that you need to train your mind to do, to different thought patterns and so on, to not judge people or whatever. But sure, look, this is live on Instagram and YouTube. If anyone wants to up the quality, just have a look on YouTube. I'll probably start talking about the Publicity Stunt did at the end. This will hopefully be 1 hour long. making it up as I go along. This is live. As I was saying, you're watching someone who's pretty, as I'm sure everyone is very self-conscious, you know. Sometimes people just say, "Hey, what are you doing wearing? You should have earned your T-shirt or whatever before you get seen in public." And this is an example of someone who is very worried about what other people think about them. So just imagine like you're doing a live video or posting on Instagram, and you're worried about, like I'm worried about my aunties, uncles seeing this, people I've never seen. Oh, teachers, it's so embarrassing. Maybe my just people like maybe people that don't like me, and they'll just be like, "Oh, did you see that man? He's absolutely bonkers. Look at this. Here's a little clip of him sneezing. He's he doesn't know what he's doing about podcasts or whatever." But do you know what? It's a learning experience, and this is the first one. And the first time you do anything, it's not going to be that great, but you gotta just keep good. Oh God, was it perfectionist? Perfectionist the opposite? Is the enemy of good? So basically, if I wanted this to be absolutely perfect, I'd be waiting another few years before the episode 1 came out, you know. But the thing is, I just for the last 2 hours I've just been stressing my balls out trying to get the cameras working. Like, how am I going to get the thing to stream on 2 things at once, and all these like technical stuff that you don't even need to know. I was like, right, people need to see me. I had to worry about the lighting stuff I barely even know about, and I just had to research it on the fly on YouTube. So it's gonna be bonkers. I'm recording this on, I think I'm recording the audio, so let me know wherever you think is good, where you'd like to listen to your podcasts, and I'll put the audio up only. I'll put the audio up only on that. And if anyone wants to, so the way this is working so far, I think I'm doing a TikTok for improvised songwriting, which is where and I'll be doing Instagram live maybe in the evening for that. So how that works is I'll be playing guitar and making up. A big part of music, as you know, is making up the songs. So if someone writes down something like carrots, I will start trying to sing about carrots. I do this as an exercise for stretching my own mind. I'll be doing some improvised rapping. And I hope you'll let me have a little bit of leeway on saying like words that don't exist, like stuff that's not PC, because it's just literally coming out of my head. I'm not having time to think about it. I'm just like, what word would kind of sound like that word, and here it comes, and it's all live. So I hope you'll give me some leeway. It's not like I'm going, I firmly believe in this thing that I just said and would stand by it in court or something. It's just something that flows out. And everything I say is allegedly. So if you think you're going to sue me for something I'm making up on the spot, good luck to you. I'll hopefully be slagging off some peeps, stirring some stuff. I'm all about the publicity stunts, as the publicity stunt I tried to pull last night. Because I believe in my message so much, you know. I think it's very, very important what I'm doing. I think people will be really interested. So there you are. Spreading the word. So shall I talk about? I was gonna think, like, I have some tabs open for talking about like little things, like I'll have guests on. I'll be doing guests such as from all over the world. Because of the technology, I saw even on Instagram, you can do 2 people live at the same time from different sides of the earth, which is just mental. So I'm getting really warm. Oh my lord. Oh, all right. No one look at my bits. All right. All right, it's getting a bit warm. Okay, back to concentration time. What was I even talking about? All right, people who will be on the people who will be on the podcast. All right, so open for all suggestions, of course. But here's what I'm thinking at the start. I'll probably get on some people about like recycling. Some people on about like how to save the world. I'll have some people talking about like I'm not really going to state my opinions on the podcast. I'm literally just going to sit there and go and kind of prompt them so they make sure that they get their message across. And if they're getting a little bit too serious, maybe I'll try and pop in a joke just so we don't like explode with tears, because some of the stuff is very sensitive. It's kind of emotionally charged topics. Do you know what I'm saying, darling? Oh. Generally, all my music's just improvised and made up at the top of my head, including lyrics and stuff. Oh. LimeWire, the ultimate recycling music files. Good point, Billy Jones. I hope I got your name right. I'm just going to read it again because sometimes I get the comments wrong. So LimeWire was the ultimate for recycling music files. Great. My music's all for free, and you can't even get it yet. So you want to put it on LimeWire, Mr. Billy Jones? I'll actually thank you for it. So is there any other musician in the world who would thank someone for putting their music on LimeWire? I don't know. Sure, we'll see. Some other interesting stuff. I'm doing a house party tour. How does that work? Well, kid, I'm glad you asked. So, in Ireland, there's this thing where you have a kind of a gaff party, a house party, and you just invite whoever the fuck you want. Like, the neighbours next door, so they won't complain, and just have a rake of cans, and you invite the boys over. And you talk about stuff that happened in work, isn't the boss a dickhead and all this stuff. So, what I will do for my tour is, if someone's having a house party, I won't definitely do this, as in like there'll be a filtering system of whose house party I go to. But so and other technical stuff which you won't worry about. But I'm basically going to go to people's houses, parties, show up with an iPod and possibly no microphone and just do a show. In the room, we'll be doing some chants. I'll probably be doing some improvised rapping stuff. I'll be playing some songs off my back catalogue. I'll be playing some songs which won't be released till next year. Because I have all my singles planned out, and I'm gonna be hopefully releasing a single every month and the next few singles, I think the next 4 singles are heavily ones I'm planning. I'm not sure in the order, but the way I'm planning to do it, the next 3 singles all have vegan themes, so they're like about life being kind of vegan-ish. Stuff like how horrible it is being in the supermarket and you see all these like carcasses and stuff around the place. But yeah, just rather than just having a moan to myself about it, I decided to bring people together and we can all fucking talk about how yucky some of the stuff is. And try to stay positive about it, because we're all doing this together, as opposed to like getting down on it and not doing anything. Because when you take action, it lowers your anxiety and stress and all the rest of it. A lot of anxiety and stuff comes from not taking action. So if you're worried about like, I don't. Sure, fuck it. I'll sure keep talking. So some stuff I was thinking about doing as well. Oh, back to the gaff parties. Yeah, so I'll be showing up with little shakers and stuff, hand them out, and the people will be dancing, singing along. Maybe I'll just be doing the gig, stand on someone's couch. I don't know how it's gonna do. It's literally just gonna be me, my voice. for the first little bit anyway. And for my live shows, I don't really want to charge people for my gigs either, because I want my gigs to be more like kind of protests, and if you know what I mean. I don't even really want to do gigs in venues. I like to do like open air and in a room with kind of people and stuff, that not like kind of not really open mic stuff. We just do one song. I want to communicate with the people. Make sure that um, I'm throwing out a lot of stuff and just seeing what sticks. Like someone will go, "Oh, I like that thing you said about the clothing line. Have you thought about looking into shorts?" And maybe the start of my clothing line is just going to be hats, and then it'll be t-shirts. Just because it needs to build slowly. You can't just do a full clothing line and then you could go bankrupt or whatever. And so yeah, you got to build these things slowly, steadily. Just tip away at them 10 minutes every day or whatever your thing is. No matter what you're doing, if you're trying to learn guitar, just do 10 minutes every day rather than doing 6 hours all at once and never playing again. Do you know what I mean, darling? It's the Steven podcast. It's the Steven podcast. I'm playing through it. This is actually kind of funny. I like playing really like shit stuff because I think it's hilarious. So this is my guitar amp that's live right now. It's actually like that's a box of cigarettes, and it just has a kid's walkie-talkie in it. I like to be an inventor as well. I like to create and just do what needs to be done, as opposed to waiting for someone else to do it and then I go, oh, okay, like I can do that because Jimi Hendrix did it or something. Like I wasn't waiting for Jimi Hendrix to play a little guitar amp. I was just like, I just think it looks fucking hilarious. I'm just doing it because yeah, whatever. It really kind of stands for what I'm standing for, which is just, if you want to learn something, teach it as you go. I was setting up all these lights by just watching YouTube videos while I was actually doing it. I didn't try to learn everything about video. I just learned the little bits that would get the job done today. And that's what people need to do if they want to start a business today, as opposed to in a year. I'd really recommend with anything, just starting. If you want to play a gig, just say, right, I'm doing a little gig, 5-minute gig today. Or not, yeah, I don't know, do a little live streamer. Jeez, that's scary. I'd know in a month and get their own song ready. Just dip the foot in or whatever. It doesn't matter if it's music or anything. Like, these concepts for motivation apply across the board. And I'm delighted I made some coffee before this podcast. So the aim for this podcast is to go for 1 hour every day for lunch, because lunchtime, it'll be good time for guests. Do you know what I mean? Like they'll be on their lunch as well, so they can probably pop in for 20 minutes at the end and give their opinion on world issues and what's going on and current protests coming up. Give nutrition advice for people who want to live healthier lives. Honestly, I'd literally have the old man down the road in my podcast, and I'll just say to him, listen, how do you feel about like this whole vegan thing? Like, it's a bit mad, isn't it? It's a bit out there. And he'd be like, yeah, it's crazy. And I'd be like, yeah, I used to think that as well. And I'll just fucking talk to him, and then be like, oh, like what's some life lessons you've learned throughout your life, and what's some things, advice you give to other people on just like being motivational and following your dreams and all this stuff. Like what, and a lot of people will say like, oh, I wish I hadn't spent so much time worrying. I wish I just fucking did that thing, like asked that girl out. Because something that a lot of the stuff I'm saying, I'm just quoting some like my favorite stuff that I've watched that got me the motivation to do this and start my own, even if it's just a hat line. It's just going to be hats made out of recycled stuff. ethically made, ethically sourced, and all that stuff. I keep forgetting that I don't have to repeat myself because this is a podcast. I'm used to just jeez. I might have to take a break and just play guitar for a minute. All right. So I guess I'll just start talking about. I don't really want to look at. I have all these tabs open, right? Because I was like thinking to myself, right, what do people want on a podcast? Which is one thing in itself, because people don't know what they want. They think they know what they want, and then when they get it, they're like, "Oh, this didn't make me happy. I think I'll keep doing this because this actually made me happy, whatever X or Y this is." So I feel that people don't really know what they want and so on. But I'm gonna take everyone's opinion on board, and if people are like, "Man, you should do that podcast from a hot air balloon," I'll do the podcast from a hot air balloon. "Man, you should do that podcast on a speedboat live," I'll fucking do it on the pod while interviewing some lad who's like who grows bananas. Uh, it's all under a theme. It's all under a vegan positivity theme. And that's what's going on, baby. It's the vegan podcast. Alrighty-o. So I guess I'll get into it because I only have an hour to do this. So I'll do a review of what I did yesterday. I think I've gone through all my stuff. Okay. Yeah, there's no safety net for this podcast. That's fucking mad. All right. So originally, going on with the theme of thanks for the wave there. Got my people on Instagram live. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about my thing that I did yesterday. Okay. I'm hoping you guys could just talk like I'm like, oh man, what was I talking about? You just feel like you were talking about this, and I'll be like, cheers. All right, sure, keep going. So I'm gonna talk about the publicity I stunted. I did. And so on. Talk about the publicity stunt that I did yesterday. So what I did was decided to. This is the first official podcast. I decided to do a publicity stunt for my album, which came out, which was called Positive Mental Health, and how's this camera doing? We're okay. For my publicity stunt, which is called Positive Mental Health, and what did I do? It was, yeah, I might even just talk about how I felt about it. I don't know. So what did I do? I locked myself in this room, which is cold, and it's about 2 meters squared. And I tried to stay up for 24 hours. So one kind of live video at the start and one live video at the end, or whatever, to summarize. Kind of. Yeah, but the point of it was to see how your mental health deteriorates. So I came in here super positive, super motivational, and you can still see this on the live stream. If you look at the very first video, it's divided into like 4 videos. So I came in here super motivational. I was pumped. I was like, "Come on, let's do this. It's gonna be awesome." And by the end of it, I was like dying. I was dying. So I had to stay awake for the whole time, 24 hours. I tried to stand for the whole 24 hours. I think I stood in total for half an hour within those 24 hours. I did some other stressors to stress me out as well. So I had the same music playing. On loop for the whole 24 hours to simulate repetitive thoughts. And I was pacing around this little room. I was literally losing my mind because I couldn't watch YouTube. It was just me in here alone I was planning on having the Instagram comments pop up, but technical difficulties happened, and the Instagram went dead. So I was just alone with the YouTube live for that, for most of it. And this is episode 1, man. Making up as I go along. Yeah, so I started losing my mind. It was awful. It was absolutely awful. I wanted to do nothing more than to turn off the music. I normally get up at 8 in the morning, and I go to bed at midnight, and I'm in a very nice habit for that, which is great. And as soon as 10 o'clock hit, I did for the first like so many hours. I was the reason I can't even think right now is because I didn't get a lot of sleep. Like, well, I did. I don't know. I haven't really recovered because it was only yesterday I did it. Yeah, I was pacing around this room, and I didn't think I could do it, and I had to keep telling myself motivational stuff. I had to write stuff on the wall saying like, "You can do it," and then like I was ready to give up like around 10 p.m. I was so fucking stressed about having the whole thing live, and like just the idea of being on display for anyone to ever see in the future and stuff like that. Yeah, so I was really just facing my fears. Oh, darling. So then around midnight, I was like, listen, if I hear these songs, I'm going to just freak out. So I started playing along with the music. By the way, that's a technique they use for torture. They play the same music again and again and again and again and again. People lose all track of time. They start losing their minds. Guantanamo Bay and the boys like doing that. So I started playing along because I couldn't sit otherwise. Like I couldn't sit, so I couldn't sit down. So I had to stand. And then I did like the world's longest improvised guitar solo. I think I went on for 8 hours straight, just improvising notes and melodies and chords and vocal melodies on top of the music that was hurting my head. And all those things. And I really liked it in a way because I wasn't thinking about what I was playing on the guitar because I was so like tired and stuff. And that's what some comedians like, being really tired because they don't overthink stuff because they're just too tired to overthink. They're just like, oh yeah, I'll do this now because it's, yeah. And it was really mad. You can really notice the human fatigue during the experiment because in my mind it was a live art installation. It can still be watched if someone wants to look at like the effects of isolation, repetitive thoughts as the music's meant to represent, feeling trapped in the small room, no entertainment, no people, isolation, all that stuff. So it was just a simulation of how mental health can affect you. So I came into the room super pumped and all the rest of it. And by the end of it, I was absolutely dead. Like, I was in bits. Like, I nearly, a lot of it, just like life, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. So I started being really energetic at the start. Like, I was like, right, it's going to be fucking class. And I was really pumped, and I started losing my voice. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not even an hour into this and my voice is going. I have another 24 hours to go. So, oh Jesus, another 24 hours to go. So, what are we doing for time? Okay. 35 minutes in. Yeah, I was only starting off and I started losing my voice. And then I realized I'm gonna have to go really close to the microphone for the next 24 hours because I have to be really close to it so people can hear me. And I was putting myself under so much pressure because I was trying to think like, right, if this is going to be some kind of entertainment, I'm going to have to talk the whole way through from start to finish. And people can really hear then like how when you try to survive without sleep. I was staying up awake for 24 hours like. And then I tried to work after it. I tried to do a podcast. I started off by doing a podcast, and I was like, "This is the start of the episode. This podcast." And then by the end of it, I did a podcast with my mind just gone. I couldn't even think about anything. I was just like, I think, excuse me, what I had to do just to try and because I was trying to be creative when I hadn't slept in ages, and because my mind was fried just by trying to keep up all the technical cameras running, and they kept failing and all the rest of it. So trying to think, trying to learn is just you cannot. I find I cannot. Just trying to see if everything's in focus here. I realize that I can't learn new things when I'm absolutely wrecked. I was highly irritable by the end of it. Like everything just annoyed me. Which is what happens when you're fatigued, when you don't sleep and so on. I started thinking all kinds of. I started acting. Does you know this is the way you have three faces, right? You got your face, which you show the people you don't know. You got the face you show people that are close to you, and you got your face you share with on yourself. And at the start, I was all like, "Yeah, I'm this guy, I'm this perfect person thing," and then by the end of it, I was just like, I don't care if what people like. I'm too tired. So as you'll notice with people as who are having a bad time in life, maybe their parents died or whatever, they're just like, I do not care. I am so tired. So at the start of it, I was a demonstration of someone with really fucking good mental health. Like I was just like, let's do this positive. This is gonna be fucking awesome. And by the end of it, I was like, I never want to go in this room. If I ever go in this room again, I will die. And here I am, back in the room. I think it's 24. It is 24 hours. I've had 24 hours rest. I think. I mean, roughly 24 hours, whatever. And now I can think again, be optimistic, can think clearly. It's so nice. I wasn't able to think clearly at all when I was just absolutely wrecked. Alrighty-yo. So, alright. So people. This is me interviewing myself as well. Oh yeah, who, what, where am I? Okay, so I was going to interview myself. Man, how do you do a podcast by yourself? Oh my jeepers. Here, we're finding out as we go. Okay, I guess we're doing world news. Okay. In case, for anyone, no one knows me yet, okay? I don't know anything about geography. I don't know anything about, there's a lot of things I know nothing about. So I'm just going to be touching on some general stuff, just because it seems to be what people do in podcasts. I don't know. So I'll touch on like maybe some just not like say my opinion of them, just be like, oh, this is happening or whatever. It's obviously biased media. Like I'm a vegan, so I'm not going to be unbiased, but sure, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm going to try very hard to be like one of those fucking politician types who are just like, yes, I have no emotions, and I know I'm gonna try to be family friendly as much as possible. That's my so that most people I can get my message out to as many people, most people as possible. Okay, let's go. Oh jeez, what's going on in the world news? So I'm literally just from as far as I know. Maybe I'll talk about what I know about world news right now, because I'm just going to show you how much I don't know about world news. Because to be honest, I'm just trying to focus on what I need to do. I need to put all my focus in to being the best representative I can for this whole vegan positivity thing. A lot of people are doing their own message, like, oh, I stand for vegan nutrition and so on. That's cool. But my main thing is just I'm touching that as well, whatever. But just positivity. I'm selling positivity, baby. Okay. So, oh yeah, my thing about. Oh, I also started going fucking delirious last night. I started going delirious. And I started like improvise acting and being like talking to the camera as if it was my mate, which I know is something like I'm hopefully gonna learn how to do. You know, camera's your best friend or whatever. But it's also strange to me. Like I had to learn all this stuff off YouTube, like how to even communicate with people and have points to what I'm saying, so it's an organized conversation and stuff. You know. Oh yeah. Okay. So some stuff that I know is going on in world news. Please don't take anything I'm saying seriously. I almost take everything I do as a little bit of a parody, just so I won't get in trouble. So here's what I know about the world. Something's going on called Brexit, and my idea of Brexit is it's just a publicity stunt for England, because they're just like, let's talk about England all the time. And it's kind of like one of those relationships where it's like, will they, won't they? And you're just going to find out. Ross Geller and Jennifer Aniston or whatever. It's like, oh, will they kiss? Will they not kiss? Woo! I don't know. I'm looking forward to in 10 years' time where I can just open the history book and just be like, oh, that happened. Because right now it's just a load of shit. It's like, will this happen? Will this not happen? It's just like a load of news stuff. And I know it affects people in very big ways, but I know nothing about it. I'm coming clean. I'll probably do an interview and then I'll be like, oh, geez, yeah, I know loads. But I'm going to try very hard to just be myself and be honest, because if I don't know something, I'm going to say I don't know something. Hopefully. Transparency and unity. Togetherness. Okay, so what's going on in the world? All right, some man called Trump, who has a great work ethic, but he's not working towards something that everyone agrees with. So, positives about Trump: if you want to get something done, maybe he has a good work ethic. Like maybe he knows how to work for 7 hours a day and be super motivated. He's working towards something that is possibly horrific and will fuck the world up forever or whatever. Or maybe he's just brilliant. Who knows? So that's what's going on in the world. Some lad called Trump, and everyone's kind of confused with what that's going on about. Brexit crack. Any other world news? Some lad in Korea is having the crack. He keeps pretending that the world's going to end or something. He keeps being like, here, lads, I got all these bombs. And everyone's going, oh no, there's a drunk man at the party again. He's shiting on. And they're all like, look at me, I got bombs. So much for me not being politically correct. Or being politically correct. So that's going on. People are afraid the world's going to end. But the thing is, like, you think the world's going to end, and then you look out the window and see, oh, it's still bright out. I can breathe. I have food here. Maybe the world's okay, which it is. Like, we'll go on in some form. All right. So I've said what I know about world news, which is nothing. So I'm going at this blind. I've just Googled world news. What's going on here? Do today's global protests have anything in common? Geez, that sounds all right. We'll have a look at that. This is BBC. See what BBC think of the world. Got something from the Guardian. Independent.ie says, 39 bodies found in shipping container in Essex. That doesn't sound like fun. Yikes. Anything else going on? Just literally Googling headlines because I know nothing about the world. Winds change, say the Guardian. The winds have changed, and it's doing something to do with transport. I don't know. Maybe that's some kind of thing. President whose drinking binge went global. Gee, that sounds like a good night in. And just clicking all these articles, see what the fuck comes up. I've only got 15 minutes left of the podcast. Whoa! But maybe I'm thinking that maybe I should focus on not world news because I'm literally just researching it as I go. News World Today says top politician reveals worry at new bombshell over Ukraine. What's confusing is a lot of these titles are like clickbait and puns, so it's kind of hard to know, like at if you just look at a news article for like 2 seconds, like literally two, what it's really on about. Savage pub murderer who fled UK to invade justice, jailed for life. Some British lad being having a bad day, doing a bit of murdering. Essex death, Taoiseach promises investigation into possible link after some kind of lorry container. Jesus. Sure, I think I'll click on this. Like, this seems like something that... It seems wild. Like, there's a lot of news going on, but I think it's got to be fucking wild for me to be like, oh, fuck, that is absolutely bonkers. Give me a look at that. Because everyone knows, like, everyone goes on about the world ending all the time and stuff, so... And people are just like, oh, I don't want to know. I have the wife giving out to me in one ear, and I don't know where my job's going, and I have this mortgage that just go away. I want to watch football and just forget about my problems. Oh, jeepers. Imported to Ireland. Alright, so some shopping container looks like it came to Ireland. Maybe it had some refugees in it. My laptop is shitting the bed right now. Oh my god, it just keeps saying the title in different ways. It's not telling me any big details. Like, some lad from Northern Ireland, suspicion of murder. I'm tempted to just guess what happened. Maybe people trafficking. So a lot of people are coming from, I don't know, something to do with Holyhead. I'm trying to get whoever News Britain are. They're making they really want me to sign up and give them my email before they'll tell me what actually happened. All right, we'll have a little look at vegan news. What's all this about? So that was my world news. Vegan news. Vegan furious as Domino's serve him plant-based with ham. Oh my god. I remember I was on holiday and I was like, I am vegan, and they obviously didn't I didn't bother learning the language, so they were like, alright, grand. So I ordered the fucking vegetarian pizza, which had no cheese on it through some coincidence. So it's accidentally vegan. And it was one of those countries where they're like, oh, we've loads of meat, we're rich, look at how much meat we have. So it was there anyway. They wanted to show off how fucking rich and well off they were or whatever. So they gave me the vegan pizza with just a fucking rasher on it. Just a slab of bacon on my vegan pizza. Absolutely fucking... I was fuming that day. See, back in the day, that probably ruined my day. I was fuming about it, but I don't know, a bit more perspective on the world than I did. I can see outside my own problems a little bit, you know. So, alright, carrying on vegan news. Oh Jesus, yeah, some lad going on about Domino's anyway. Got some ham on his pizza. Oh Jesus. Right, vegan news. Latest vegan. Oh Jesus. Vegan Life magazine. Oh my lord. What is vegan KFC? Ooh. This looks like I'm heavily dyslexic, by the way, so that's why I'm not able to pronounce people's names. Like some lad called Ween66 just came on Instagram and stuff, and I don't know how to say Ween66. Alright, let's see what's happening. Resistance calendar. Okay, so this is a load of protests. I just looked up like protests coming up. Alright, so there's geez, the women are at it again. It was a women's march in 2019. Okay, like I want to go to it, so like what's the date? It doesn't say. Something about the New York Times in December. So that's cool. Where is the Women's March? It is in Washington, D.C. Oh, for fuck's sake. Alright, so the Americans are having a crack. I can't find any local protests. So alright, so here we got a better list of protests. Let's see what's going on here. Because no events are coming up. Oh my lord. Okay. Let's see. March for Our Lives. That sounds good. Gun violence. Oh, that's fucking last year. Do you like how disorganized I am? Alright, I'll get this stuff sorted out at some stage anyway. Let's see what's going on. It just seems like the protests are coming up straight away are like from last year, and they all kind of seem vague on the details. Like the only information I've got so far is there's a woman's protest in Washington. Protests journal.ie. I'm going to try and focus on world news as opposed to world events, as opposed to just where I live. Violence in Chile. Is this today now? Alright, it might be. Who knows? Violence in Chile sparked by metro flare has hiked and has left 3 dead. Jesus. That is shocking. Okay, President Higgins and Minister Paul something evacuate from a hotel because of security concerns. This is, people need to know this. This is shit hot news. I might be joking. El Casero destroned. Okay, there's something going on in El Casero, whatever that means. Some lads arrested in London because there's a rebellion. Oh, this sounds exciting to me. Like when I hear rebellion, I'm like, oh jeez, what's that? Oh shit, I've only 7 minutes left. Spain, Catalan leaders of Spain. This is what I'm doing is like someone shows me a news article and then goes, right, try to remember what you just seen, and I'm like, oh geez, something about Spain, something about there was a bull there. So I don't know. I'm not that bothered about. It's obviously extremely important, as I've already said, but some of the news I'm finding is basically very minor world events, as in like kind of clickbaity. Like I'd like to find something like, I might have to look into history then. I just want to find something that is not like clickbait, and I don't know. I need a better source for my news, perhaps. So I'll look up a better source for news, for world news, just so I can see what's going on. I'll probably read just the top 10. As I said, it's like a parody of a podcast, so don't take it out too seriously. Do your own research. I'm just a lad. Yeah, so yesterday the publicity stunt, my goal was to get in Joe.ie or else something with an equal amount of reach. Because that was my goal. and this is all about trying to achieve your goals. An example of you trying to achieve your goals. This is me trying to achieve my goals, my whole journey. So you can literally do. I'm kind of literally just doing a how-to guide, how to fucking do what you want. You just need to replace veganism with whatever you're interested in. So like, I love tools, Paul. If you really like fucking like drills and hammers or whatever you're into, and then make a little podcast about it. Maybe whatever your way of spreading your word is. Maybe it's ads, advertising is good. If you believe in your message, build it and they will come. Power is taken, not given. So you gotta just be like, listen, this is what's going on. Man, this is live. 4 minutes left. VeganSteven. Oh, there's a rebellion going on somewhere. Something about a plane in London City Airport. Something in Hong Kong. Jipping smashed bodies. Bones. Jeez, that sounds awful. Everything I read is just like, I read 2 words. I kind of go, what are they talking about? And I just go, oh, geez, that sounds awful. So I think that's what's happening here. That's what's happening here. Some guests I want to get on are, yeah, that news is just confusing me. Because I'm trying to learn something while I'm talking. I'm doing a podcast at the same time. Talk about multitasking. So there will be live shout outs and improvised songwriting at random, I'll say that, random stages. But the podcast will be consistent every day at lunchtime. I'll be doing starting my clothing, which will start off with hats and t-shirts with a nice little black bit of text there, maybe, nice little small bit. It's gonna be fucking awesome. And making it just so if you want to be like, I just want to buy something that's ethical. I don't want to put 10 years research into it. I just want to. I'm late for work. You can just be like, right, that VeganSteven lad, he sells t-shirts that are recycled and ethical. I'll just buy fucking 5 of those because my life's too fucking busy to be researching. All about doing your best. Okay, 2 minutes left. I gotta go. All right, we're gonna shut this thing down. Thanks so much for being with us. Believe in yourself. Believe you can do anything. VeganSteven here, playing a white Stratocaster. We're making it all up as I go along. Share if you please share the if you just write a comment, or even just mention it to one friend, just be like, "Jeez, that VeganSteve lad started a podcast." That'll do. Just if you're down the coffee shop and just be like, "Have you heard of this VeganSteven guy?" Done. All right, that's all you have to do. You don't even have to do that. Do that if you want. And I've only got 60 seconds left. So yeah, this is guerrilla marketing. So I'm not putting any money into advertising at this stage. It's just all word of mouth. If you like this podcast, yeah, basically, if you like it, just say it to your mate, because there's no other way they're going to find out, because I'm not advertising it. This is just, if you think this is something that you're into, little Facebook post being like, jeez, I think I might watch that podcast again. That's it. Word of mouth, babies. Okay, we're wrapping this up. If you want to be a guest, if you're a guest, if you want to collaborate on music, if you want to help out with the artwork, help out with helping pick the text, help out with photography, help out with anthem, do it. Okay. All right, over and out.